Hey guys, welcome back. We are heading out for flooring. We are at that stage in putting the grow room back together where we are deciding on colors and flooring. Now, we decided to go with this flooring from Costco. We thought that based on the sale price and everything else, this was probably our best choice. Now that we have this picked out and we're gonna go pick it up, we have to decide on paint, which we'll be doing over the course of the next couple days, picking out the color or colors and start getting that up on the wall. We want to get the paint on the wall and everything kind of spackled and fixed up prior to us actually laying down the flooring, because we don't want to get any of the paint on the floor. And after that, we'll replace the molding and just do some finishing touches in the room. So this is going to be a long week. We got a little bit of work ahead of us, so let's go get this flooring. Got all the floor loaded into the house. Now we're going to try to pick out some paint. We're heading out to Sherwin-Williams. We brought the boys along, see if we can make some decisions. We brought one of the floorboards with us as a reference point to help us guide us in the right direction for the coloring, to kind of see what we were thinking about. And once we decided on Shiitake and Alabaster, we held it against honey oak. That's the same coloring as all of the woodwork in the room, just to see how it all blends together. Now, when we removed all the carpeting, we did discover these two cracks. Nothing about it points in the direction of it being a structural problem. So what we're going to do is fill it in with this liquid cement crack filler by DAP. Now the cracks are pretty deep and wide enough for this application just to sink right in, but I'm going to be using a spatula essentially just to make sure it's forced in and fills the gaps completely. After adding this in, we're seeing that it actually is going to take a couple different layers to fill in the gap completely, letting it dry fully between each application.
I'm making sure I'm doing the whole thing.
Now I know there's going to be a lot of holes in this wall and some repairs that we're going to have to do, so we're going to get everything off the wall to see how much I'm going to need. Once that's all done, we're going to be using dry deck spackling from DAP. We're going to put this on. It's nice because it goes on pink, and you know when it's dry because it'll turn white. So the cracks are all filled in, the holes are all patched up on the wall, we've got everything removed. We just have a few other things to get going in here, but I'm going to let my assistant tell you what we got going next.
Hi, so we're going to do something really cool. So these walls are going to paint them, and I want you to help paint the walls and try to get everything done, and I need you to come out with us, so let's go.
Here's a helpful little hack, especially if you've forgotten to buy the extra disposable trays. take a trash bag and put it over the top of your painter's tray, and then just tape it on to make sure it stays in place. So when you're all done, all you do is remove the bag, throw that away for easy cleanup, and you don't have to clean up. For our first color, we're going with Alabaster by Sherwin-Williams in the paint Duration. It's great because it is durable and washable, and having children around, this is our go-to paint. When I first told Griffin that we had to paint this room, he felt like he had missed out on painting the bathroom and really wanted to help out here. So he's in here. We dressed him up with one of my t-shirts as a smock, and he is going to town. He's doing a great job helping.
Cool.
Also, it has legs too.
Oh, it has legs too? Get your roller.
Roller, this roller.
Yep.
And for cleanup, it's simple. Just flip the bag inside out as you remove it from the paint tray. Now, I don't know if we're going to be doing a second coat of Alabaster on the wall or not, so I want to maintain this roller. I want to be able to use it again tomorrow. So I'm going to put it inside of a trash bag, and I'm going to seal this up. This is going to keep the paint wet and make sure it doesn't dry out, so I'll be able to reuse it tomorrow. Now we're moving on to that half wall, and we're going to be using Shiitake by Sherwin-Williams, again in that Duration paint. Alright guys, so everything is painted. The spackling went on really nice and it dried well. We sanded it down so you can't even tell now where the holes were on the wall. Works out really nicely. And the paint goes on so thick with that Sherwin-Williams paint. It costs a little bit more, but it's really worth it with how less painting you have to do. I really, for this Alabaster, for this main top area, I only put one coat of paint on it. I had a few touch-up areas, mostly along here, and then in the corner. I had a few areas where the underlayment, the undercoloring that was kind of a warm white was coming through just a little. But other than that, I'm not seeing any other areas. So one coat coat worked out nicely. But for the shiitake on the bottom, we definitely needed 2 coats. It was streaky, it did have spots where it didn't go on fully, but that dark layer underneath really, that's what you're having to cover, and that's what was shining through or coming through. So we got that done. Everything is reassembled. All of the wall sockets are back on. The next step is going to be the flooring. We've cleaned everything up and the cracks are all prepared. So we are going to start laying down the flooring. Now, I didn't do it for this video because I had to order some new tools to make sure that this would make easy work of it. So I'll show you some of the new tools I picked up in the next video. And then the last area that we're going to cover in this room is going to be the water area, the water main for outside. We're going to create a box around that and finish that up. And then we will be moving back into this room and getting all the seeds started. So I'm guessing over the course of the next week, we're going to be finishing everything up. So stay tuned for those videos. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you soon.